welcome back to Madam English YouTube channel. Today's lesson we are going to talk about a fantasy. Yeah, there are so many kind of narrative text ya. And today our focus is about listening a fantasy story. Jadi akan mendengarkan cerita fantasi ini. Nah, judulnya adalah The Goose Girl Story ya. Jadi ini cerita tentang gadis angsa. Nah, mau tahu ceritanya gimana? Stay tuned. But if you have the book ya, English Peminatan Tingkat Lanjut for grade 11, open your book unit 2 activity 3, page 47. But if you don't have the book, don't worry because you can download the book in the description box. Okay, now we are going to have a listening activity, and after that you have to do the activity 3. Okay, stay tuned in the video.
The Goose Girl Story. Once upon a time, there lived a lovely princess named Ani Dori Caladra Taliana Isali, or Ani, who was born in the kingdom of Kildenry. Ani had a strong relationship with her aunt. Little Ani spent the first years of her life listening to her aunt's stories and learned how to converse with animals. As Ani grew up, she gradually learned of 3 important gifts: people speaking, animal speaking, and nature speaking. When her aunt left from the kingdom, Ani's mother, the queen, forbade Ani from getting near animals as she and the rest of Kildenry were terrified of animal speakers. Years passed by. Ani was struggling with her confidence as both crown princess and a future queen. Ani's life, that was always under her mother's shadow, made her feeling not confident to be the next queen. Things got worse when Ani's father passed away. At the funeral, the queen announced that her second child, Caleb, would become the next ruler. Feeling confused, Ani tried to confront the queen.
Mother, I ask pardon for intruding so soon after the mourning period, but I must ask you about your statement some weeks ago,
said Ani.
Yes, my child, about Caleb. Sit down.
The queen asked Ani to sit and continued explaining.
You remember, 5 years ago we received a visit from the Prime Minister of Bayern.
Ani nodded.
Well, actually, according to our tradition, if it has to be one of my kids to marry the Prince of Bayern, it should be the 3rd child, Napolina. But she is too young, and you, my dear Ani, you are different. After the trouble with your aunt, I'm worried that people would never trust you as the rumors of you being an animal speaker have sunk too deep,
said the queen. Furious and upset, Ani had no other choice and was obliged to agree. Ani's lady-in-waiting and best friend, Celia, also convinced her to go to Bayern. Ani was crushed, but performed her duty and left Kildenry. However, another bad thing happened. On the way to Bayern, Ani began to feel alienated from Celia. Celia later took Ani's identity as the princess and seized Ani's power. After days wandering in the forest alone, Ani eventually stumbled on the house of Gilsa and her son, Finn. Gilsa told her,
"Go to Bayern with Finn when the market opens. If you are fortunate, you will meet the king in person."
Eventually, Ani and Finn went to the market to try to speak to the king. They met the king, but she ended up telling him that she was new to the city and had nowhere to go. Hence, the king assigned her as a goose girl. At first, as a goose girl, Ani struggled to connect with the other workers and the geese. However, this changed when she met Enna, who worked with chickens, and Jock, an injured goose that she nursed back to health. Over time, Ani built friendships with the workers, including with a man named Jarek, who told her that he was the prince's guard. One day, Ani heard a really bad news from Enna.
Ani,
Kildenry plans on attacking Bayern, so the king has decided to attack Kildenry first, told Anna. Annie realized in horror that this must be Celia's plan. If Bayern wiped out Kildenry, there would be no one who could prove her real identity, but she could not return to Kildenry. The next morning, a group of thieves attacked the geese flock. Annie used her gift. She asked the wind to help, and it responded by picking up a large amount of dirt and attacking the thieves. Because of her good deeds, Annie was hailed as a hero, but was horrified to know that the king would invite her for a reward. As she was afraid to meet Sila in the kingdom, she decided to escape. She returned to Gilsa's house and by chance met Talon, her old guard.
I am so happy to find you alive,
said Annie, relieved.
I am also very happy to finally meet you again, Princess. And I really want to help you get your identity back,
replied Talon. Then, the two decided to convince the king of Annie's true identity. They rode to the kingdom and managed to meet the old prime minister. Soon after confirming her identity, she was informed that the prince and Celia were about to get married by the lake. Thus, Annie went to the lake to confront Celia. There she found out that the guard, Jarek, was actually the crown prince. A terrifying battle between Celia and Annie could not be avoided. Luckily, before Celia could kill Annie, Jarek intruded and helped Annie. Days later, after things quieted down, Annie was called to prove that Kildenry was not about to attack Bayern. She declared that she was the proof, as the queen would never send her firstborn into an enemy camp before storming out. Jarek praised her for ending the war before it started. At the end, Annie and Jarek decided to get married. Jarek took her to a celebration where she was introduced as the official crown princess.
Well, students, how was the story? Do you like it? Well, now we are going to find the specific information from the stories. Well, this is the activity 3. Kalian bisa buka buku kalian ya, buku Kemdikbud untuk English tingkat lanjut halaman 47. Nah, kalian lihat di sana ada activity 3. Nah, this one ya, ini adalah pertanyaan-pertanyaannya. What is the story about? What specific abilities did the main character have that other characters in the story didn't? Jadi kalian bisa jawab dulu pertanyaan ini. Pertanyaan nomor 3, 4, 5, dan 6. Nah, selanjutnya nanti ada pertanyaan lagi ya. Yang 1, 2, 3, 4 ini tentang integrate and interpret. Jadi di sini kalian akan berlatih menganalisis informasi yang spesifik dan implicit and explicit yang ada di dalam teks tersebut. Begitu ya, specific information from the text. Okay, you get a point? Lanjut, di sini juga ada reflect and evaluate. Ada pertanyaannya 3. So, open your book. Activity 3, this one ya, number 1 until number 6, and the next one is number 1 until number 4 yang integrate and interpret ya, and the last one is number 1 until number 3. Jadi ada berapa tuh pertanyaannya? 3, 4, 6 ditambah 4, 10 ditambah 3, jadi ada 13 pertanyaan. You can work in pair, kalian bisa bahas bersama teman kalian ya, teman sebangku kalian. And if you have any question, you may ask your teacher. Well, students, that's all. Don't forget to do the task and submit the test to your teacher. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe this channel. Share juga ke teman-teman kalian. Semoga video ini bermanfaat. Thank you for watching. See you next video. Bye!